Oh, don't mind me, I'm just trying out the new lean mechanic. This video is sponsored by Aniba.com, a fairly new online marketplace where you can get game keys and gift cards for PC, Xbox, PSN, Nintendo and much more. Check out the fantastic weekly deals with up to 70% off. Use the code IKARI during the registration to get another 3% off of every purchase and have a fun time gaming. Okay people, it's time for the next step in the evolution of modding. To go even further beyond, to push your game to a whole new level. I have accumulated mods which will make Fallout 4 look and feel like it was released in 2022. But better! Are you ready? First of all, the newest and most advanced ENB technology, introduced by REACTOR ENB. This ENB is a true piece of art, based on the newest binary files and full of next-gen features like raindrops on the camera during rain, advanced lens effects, dynamic bloom, advanced depth of field effects and tone mapping with integrated adaptation of white point preservation. I have no idea what the last one means, but it sounds damn cool. But seriously now, this ENB is meant to be used together with the NAC-X weather mod, so I switched to it from the Vivid Weather's weather mod, which I had been using for a long while now. NAC-X is clearly the more superior weather mod, more up-to-date using the most advanced weather and lighting techniques, and also highly customizable using an easy-to-use in-game tool, which will be located in your inventory. You will also be able to select different seasons or trigger weathers manually and then add or remove certain weathers separately or tweak it to your liking. There is even a weather forecast feature, so you will never forget to take your umbrella with you. Definitely the most advanced weather mod available right now. The ENB itself is also very user-friendly and customizable thanks to the features of the ENB helper. You can easily adjust values like brightness and saturation, activate different effects or select filter overlays for day, night and interiors separately. In addition to that, I have to say this ENB is quite performance-friendly. My GTX 1070 got a bit scared when it saw the screenshots on the mod page, but it seems to run just as well as with the previous ENB, if not better. But okay, so much for the visuals. Next it's time to get educated with Uneducated Shooter. This mod brings several new features that all the cool next-gen shooters nowadays have, so obviously we need them here too. First of all, there is something called gun inertia. It's kind of a delay when you move your gun around, supposedly to make the gunplay seem more realistic and give you the feeling of actually handling something with an actual weight. Because in the vanilla game the gun is glued to the camera, so to say, and moves exactly the same way as the crosshair does, like the gun is actually mounted to your head. This little feature creates the illusion your character's head and arms move separately. The second feature this mod brings is the leaning ability, allowing very tactical sneaky-beaky shooting around the corner. Absolutely works in both first and third person view, although you will be looking like a weirdo if you do this in third person, especially without a weapon, unless you want to goof around and pretend you are a race car going around the corner. Seriously, look at this. Okay, that's enough. Both features work great with the keyboard and mouse, but not so great with the controller currently. It is theoretically possible to get the leaning to work by using third-party software to bind the keyboard keys to the controller, but it's not like the controller has that many free buttons anyway, so let's hope there will be some kind of combination feature in the future. There is actually one more feature this mod brings though, and it has to do with the player height. Because apparently in the vanilla game the player height is the same even if you crouch. And this mod allows you to actually crouch under obstacles, just like it should be. And we shall upgrade gunplay even more with the Simple Impacts mod. This one will give you visual and sound feedback effects to confirm a successful hit on a target. Just like in many popular shooters nowadays, this mod adds effects like a hit sound, some camera shake and a little blur effect, a separate hit sound for headshots, and even a kill quote.
Target neutralized. Got him.
All those things are also highly customizable. There is no MCM menu unfortunately, and you have to manually edit an ini file for that. For example, the kill quote may probably be a bit unimmersive for some, so it can be turned off. Same goes for the guns only hit sound. You will probably want to turn this one off since it's a bit weird with melee weapons.
Go down. Stay frosty. Keep it professional.
And then you can also select a variety of different sounds from some of the modern shooters out there for each sound option separately, including your own inserted ones. May I make a suggestion? I think this one here would be an appropriate kill sound. What do you think? Next on our quest to bring this game to next-gen standards is the NPC AI. I mean, I don't need to elaborate what a mess this is in the vanilla game, and so this mod here brings a lot of very needed improvements. First of all, this is not a combat AI mod. Basically, this mod changes the core design of NPC sandboxing and social interaction. It also adds a lot of new idle markers to towns and interiors. So the schedule of the NPCs' everyday lives will be more filled and believable. They will generally move around way more and just do something. The best thing is that this mod even works for modded NPCs. The custom follower Laura, for example, who would usually just stand around the same spot and do nothing all the time, is now alive. Walks around the city, checks out shops and so on. It's really great. The NPCs will be also way more aware of their surroundings. If a red storm, for example, breaks out, they will seek shelter. Except for guards and merchants, because I guess it's their job, and they are good at their job, and so they will continue to do their job even in radioactive rain. Oh, and the ghouls will also stay for obvious reasons. Very immersive. Also, NPCs who don't own beds will now sleep in the corner, like hobos. Also very immersive. In other words, a really great AI overhaul. The next improvement we are going to talk about is a bit more incidental, the good old MCM menu. Two mods to make this a bit more convenient, MCM Booster and MCM Settings Manager. The booster basically just reduces the loading times and prevents the MCM menus from lagging, if you have many MCM heavy mods. The menus will respond more or less instantly. There are similar mods for Skyrim as well. And this Settings Manager allows you to save, load and transfer global MCM settings, or just access and manage individual settings much faster. Again, if you have a shitload of MCM mods with lots of settings, you will be able to create profiles and use them on different saves. Or if you plan to start a new game, very practical, a very convenient little tool. And now, since we improved our MCM response time, let's also improve our damage output. Some of the hottest new guns, starting with the FN Scar H battle rifle. Nice and clean looking rifle with different firing modes and smooth animations. The customization is also quite decent here, lots of attachments and a legendary Warbird variant. The next mod is called the Ultimate M4 Pack, and let me tell you, this name is absolutely justified. This pack has really so many beautiful things to offer. The customization on this one is a real blast. Not only a huge variety of attachments and decorations, but also a lot of different camouflage and skin options, as well as extremely fancy looking master-crafted rifles. Those are a true work of art. Especially with this new ENB, it all just looks so colorful and flashy. I'm in love with this. And then we have a pistol, HK-USP. This is the handgun that appears in Half-Life 2. And this is probably also the reason they included another fully functional high-tech weapon from Half-Life 2 into this mod. Yes, the crowbar. The customization of the pistol is quite okay. There is even a legendary gun named after the protagonist of Half-Life, Flash Gordon. Next we have a couple of weapons originating from Modern Warfare. This MP5 looks really nice. I totally dig the web design on the receiver. Painted red and blue, and it's going to be Spider-Man's MP5. Yes, there are a couple of different shooting mods depending on the variant, and the overall customization is nice too. Lots of cool skins again. And the other Modern Warfare weapon is the M91, a very large LMG. It is actually recommended to use this with a field of view setting of 90. Same game with the customization here, lots of attachments, cool skins. But next, everything is going to be different, because the next weapon mod is not a gun, not a knife, not a crowbar, but actually a grenade. Yes, I think this is the first time I get to review a pure grenade mod. The M84 is a fully working flashbang and certainly something a next-gen game can't do without. The flashbang itself doesn't make friendly targets hostile, it's just a prank, bro. And the stun effects also works on many enemies and creatures like humans, thins, feral ghouls, death claws, milorgs and so on. Obviously on the player character too. The flashbang will be added to leveled lists, so be prepared to see it thrown into your direction. And yeah, also make sure not to knock yourself out by accident. There is this really cool effect with the camera spin if you get hit, and one of 3 animations will be played randomly. Well fellas, it doesn't get more next gen than this. But what do we do with all that flashy firepower? Fortunately, there is a very next-gen zombie mod. It's another huge creature expansion, but this time for the feral ghoul faction. This mod brings a lot of new variations to make feral ghoul encounters more fun, but also tougher and more challenging. Clearly inspired by famous zombie games like Left 4 Dead, Dying Light and so on, this mod adds feral ghouls that not just look differently, but also have different abilities. The fat bloated exploder, for example, will obviously blow up and knock you back. The big hulky tank will just try to beat you up real good. The spitter will, yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Their names already give a fairly good idea of what they are up to. If you are a fan of those survival zombie games, you already pretty much know what to expect here. One interesting new aspect though is that you can collect bile from feral corpses and create bile grenades with it. Well, needless to say, considering all this action, this is one of the best creature mods out there. So don't let it fly past your mod list. Okay, with all those dangerous ghouls around, we sure need a place to relax at the end of the day. And that would be the underground hideout, the best next-gen player home. It's so next-gen that you can have it anywhere you want. Just build the elevator in the settlement menu and there you go. Your very own Chad cave. This place does not only look fantastic, but also has a lot of cool features and mechanics. It will, for example, dynamically display trophies depending on your accomplishments in the base game. Those accomplishments will be visible in the atrium, for example, as you enter, and there is also a list where you can read about your deeds. You can also pick up a prototype teleportation device to allow you to get to your awesome new home even faster without the elevator, or set custom teleportation locations. Then there are the usual gimmicks like automatically opening doors, light switches, crafting and healing stations and so on. But most importantly, this hideout has its own voiced AI to help you manage things.
What can I do for you? My name is Hideout Environment Interaction and Defense Intelligence, but my friends call me Heidi. I am here to serve you any way that I can.
Very cool. There are also bonus cats, by the way, also worth mentioning. And of course the sorting display system. Basically you can stock all kinds of items in different displays. Food and drink in the kitchen, ammunition and weapons in the armory, and so on. Basically you dump your stuff and it is then automatically sorted and displayed in a very neat way. There are really a lot of display possibilities in this player home. There is a gallery to display more quest-related items in custom display cases, a special magazine gallery, a power armor gallery, custom display possibilities for selected items in the player quarters, hidden switches to access parts of the player home, and. Almost too many features to talk about. This mod actually became Mod of the Month February on the Nexus, and I fully agree. Out of all the player homes I reviewed so far, this one is definitely one of the best. And this is it for this episode. The links to all mods are as always in the description below. Don't forget to endorse the mods you like. And if you like cool next-gen mods, hit the like button and subscribe for more best new Fallout 4 mods. I thank you all for watching and see you around.